Hi, I'm Rosie.
Yay, I'm back on YouTube.
Welcome to my channel, where I look into what's going on intuitively in the world, from the political to the personal.
You can book personal readings on my website, rosieinsights.com. Rosie and Karina News Digest. Rosie Insights started about 7 years ago as Rosie Psychic Investigator, looking at news related to the Trump administration. Over the years, I have followed the practice of doing research about what's going on in the news, making that a core feature of my content. As of November 7th, 2024, I have had Karina as my daily guest slash partner for the series after the election. We are committed to working as a pair on this series at least until this election situation is resolved. Karina lives in Arizona, loves crystals, and is a certified aromatherapist. She is working on her website for private client healing appointments. We'll share her info once it's ready. Karina started as Rosie's, meaning my client, about 5 years ago, and then we became friends and started sharing the conversations we were having privately already. This channel is about looking at current news and events through an intuitive lens and sharing intuitive information. This content is for entertainment purposes only. Trust your intuition. This channel is just one source. Do your research, trust your intuition. You are the master of your own beliefs. What we won't do: conform. We do not conform with what other channels say necessarily. This is an independent channel, as is theirs. If you have a question about what you heard on another channel, ask that channel. On to today's episode. If you like this video, subscribe and press like. Thank you for watching.
Hello, everybody. Welcome. Rosie and Karina, Psychic Investigators. Okay,
Hello.
so hello, everybody. So, today we have just one of the breaking news here about Christopher Wray resigning, and then we'll address some of the questions from yesterday's video. Okay, so let's go right to it.
Mm-hmm.
Share the screen. Okay, so here is, all right, so FBI Director Christopher Wray says he'll resign as Donald Trump takes office. President-elect Donald Trump has been deeply critical of Wray, a Republican whom Trump nominated after he fired the last FBI director. Trump plans to replace Wray with Kash Patel. By the way, Karina, when I'm seeing this guy, I really don't like him, this journalist. He's always been very like anti, very like Hunter Biden, but still,
Yeah.
can focus
Mm-hmm.
on the question. So, but let's ask, okay, so let's ask here. Okay, so so then I received many messages about this. So like, oh my God, he's resigning. So people like really freaked out. I was like, wow. Anyway, but let's see. So that's why let me just sorry, I'm gonna wipe this thing because I think it's a little okay, much better, right, Grina? The image.
Yeah, there you go. Yes.
All right,
Yes.
so let's
Better.
ask. Let me do the protection.
Yes. Protection.
I'd like to ask for protection, a beautiful ray of light coming on top of my head. As I breathe in, I fill my lungs. As I breathe out, I create a circle. I create a circle. I step into it. I step into it. I feel protected. I feel connected. I'd like to ask that information come only from the highest sources, that it create the good and only the good, and so it is. just one thing also I wanted to, somebody asked the question, how would you find this protection prayer? I created it. So that's the answer. I wrote it and I've been saying it for years now, I guess, right?
Yep.
Okay, so let's ask, so why did Christopher Wray resign from the FBI? Okay, so I got is I don't know if you want to
Go
go.
ahead. Go ahead.
So it's interesting. It's funny, it's interesting. I didn't even see Trump. You know what I saw immediately? That he's shaking hands with Kamala. And then it's like kind of like she accepts it. But I also got this feeling that there have been conflicts between them because she has questioned why haven't you looked at this and that? Why
Yes.
are we at this point where she's very direct, so she'll just say it. Why haven't we made an emphasis to look into the election? Why haven't we and I see a lot of things, especially civil rights related issues. She's asked him, it's like, I'm the VP. I would like to know why. Like she just and he is a little like, oh. And then the other thing I got is that he sees a door, an exit, because he sees the Trump thing as an excuse not to have to be in that position anymore. Because if it says that it's about Trump, then it's not. That's what I got. And then I saw
Yeah.
also that Kamala, he kind of knows that Kamala, it's interesting. I'm just getting that Kamala will pick somebody else because she sees the problems. He knows the problems, but and I'm getting okay. It keeps repeating here to me. So guys, remember, maybe some of you may remember that recently, like a few years ago, an FBI agent in New York was indicted for taking or working or former FBI or something like that, working for a Russian oligarch. And we know that this person was in Russian counterintelligence. I still believe that they haven't really done the work of eliminating people that are not, you know, I don't think it doesn't make sense. I do trust
Yes.
FBI broadly speaking, but it is a mystery sometimes. Why aren't they, like all this stuff, all the white supremacists, all this stuff, it's like treated as like,
Right.
it's very status quo, it feels like to me. So
Yeah.
Kamala is not really.
No.
So in a way, he feels very Republican to me in the classic sense, but this is not the time for Republican attitudes because this is how we got to where we are today. These people were never prosecuted, were never
Right.
investigated, whatever that is. So there needs to be a cleanup. And that. So I see, honestly, Trump is not even in the picture. I don't see Trump at all. He's saying it to the public to be, Trump doesn't like, but it's not about that.
Yeah.
I think wow, interesting. So this brings up
Yeah.
another question. Does Krista, because that's what it looks like in the, I'm sorry, let me not letting you speak. Go ahead.
No, actually, I got the exact same thing. He was handing his resignation over to Kamala. It wasn't to anybody but her because he knows she was going to get rid of him anyway. She was going to ask for his resignation. And that's what he did. So he took the opportunity because Trump also would make him resign or go after him because he knows Christopher Wray knows a little bit too much. And he also knows what he's hidden and what he hasn't prosecuted. So Kamala would go after him for that, exactly the same. So he is taking this opportunity to get out. He would be gone either way.
So, okay, so then two things that I got information, kind of like answers just on these two visions that I would like to ask just to confirm. The first thing is about like, does Christopher Wray know that Kamala won, or maybe this, what does he know about the 2024 election? Does he know that Kamala won? Is the question. Is it too complicated for a question?
No, because that's basic. Does he know?
Okay, what does Christopher Wray know about the 2024 election?
think he knows enough to get the heck out of there right now. I
Mhm.
think that he is seeing the writing on the wall. He might not know all the pertinent details because I think that they don't quite trust
Mm,
who they can give all the pertinent details to.
mm,
But I think he knows enough to hightail it out of there.
mm. Okay, so what I got, go ahead, when you're done, let me know. Okay.
No, I'm done.
Okay, so what I got is actually, I see this interesting, the image of the stage. And you know when like, you have things like circuit breakers or different electronic things where you have the cables, the switch. Oh, this is, that's what is it, circuit breaker in your house when the
Mm-hmm.
it goes up. So he sees there's a front of the stage, and behind the stage, the circuits were switched. So he knows
Mm-hmm.
the numbers were switched.
Mm-hmm.
And he saw that Trump suddenly got into the stage. Oh, I'm the winner, but he has seen the numbers, that the numbers were flipped. Yes.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So he knows that Trump didn't. Yeah, does he? Okay.
Yeah.
So what is like anyway, so does he know that Kamala won the election? It's Christopher Wray. I mean, I saw that's what I saw. Yes.
Yes.
He knows. He
Okay,
knows.
I'm just going to say what I heard. I'm sorry, but he said, yeah, I heard he knows there's a shit storm coming, is what I just heard.
Okay, okay. So, all right. So,
So he knows.
okay. And then the second question I have is why I mean, because I know this is what the audience thinks, right? This is or is it going to be their question? But why did he have to say that he's leaving because of Trump if he really left because of Kamala? I mean, it's like we know the
It's,
reason, right? He can't just say,
yeah.
oh, there's going to be a surprise coming.
Yeah.
On that date, they're going to make an
We got a
announcement to
secret.
arrest people. Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Let me tell you ahead of time so people
Yeah.
can escape.
Yeah.
Like, it's not
We
going
got a
to,
national security secret we're going to tell you all.
that's right.
It just
So,
can't happen that way.
that's right. So again, so why, but let's ask. So we get,
Okay.
okay, so why did Christopher Wray say on his statement that he was about Trump? Saying that I see, oh, wow, it shows me because it's very interesting. It's the classic Republican thing,
Mm-hmm.
or like the middle person, like, oh, you know what, actually, he's like, if he does that, then doesn't make anybody mad.
Exactly.
He'll make Trump think that he's really tough, and then he will conform to the uh, narrative that's out there already.
Mm-hmm.
So that's why he likes. He doesn't want to rock the. And this is like, and this is why we need Kamala, because we need to change. This has to change. It's like he
Yeah.
doesn't offend. Like, you're not. Should not be your concern, but it is.
Yeah.
So that he was hired by
Yeah.
Trump, right?
Yeah.
So it's like, oh, but I don't know. It's okay. I don't want to be like, a controversial person. He cares about his perception. So it's very both sideism.
Yeah.
Feel like, so that's
Yeah.
why he,
Exactly.
so okay. All right.
Mm-hmm.
So interesting. All right. So now
He's
let's,
a coward. He doesn't want to take responsibility either for
that's right.
going either
Right.
direction. Big
Right.
old coward.
That's right. But still, he doesn't. I think he also does know, to be fair, that Kamala would very likely get rid of him anyway.
Oh, he knows,
Right.
but
Okay.
the coward because he's
That's right.
running and ducking.
That's right. That's right. That's right. So, okay. So then now the next thing is, oh, this is the thing. So the other part of today's video is going to be, I was talking to Karina about this, just looking at some of the questions that came up. And also, I know there were comments like, people like, oh, the rod, it's moving, it's not moving, this and that. And like, I've tried different ways. It's true that I don't have a ton of experience with it because I got it very recently, but I still got the answers, when I'm going to try to hold my, like, my elbow here.
Mm-hmm.
But still, I mean, this is just a tool. And I think it was really fun yesterday.
Mm-hmm.
And I know that some people are like, oh, but there's always going to be people who complain and don't like it or don't trust it or don't trust it. But that's not our business, really.
No.
Here to provide the information, the content, the entertainment to a degree, right?
Right.
And we believe it. I believe it. Karina believes it, right? And
Yeah.
so can't convince every single person. And there's always going to be somebody who's going to nitpick. But it is what it
Yeah.
is. You're free to change the channel, right? Nobody's
Or
forced.
start their own.
That's right. So, okay, so let's, because there was some really, I really kind of enjoyed, even though, okay, by the way, I talked about the whole thing with questions. Sometimes it's not good to get yes or no questions, but that's why the rod is interesting. But let me just pause here and get some of the questions, and we'll get started. Okay, guys, so let's start with the questions here. We have a question from the Amiro, right? Will the congressmen and women that are being paid by Russia resign? So let's answer. Will the congressmen that are being paid by Russia resign? Okay. Okay, do you want to, okay, I got an answer. Should I say the rod first?
I got an answer too. So
yeah, let's do
let's say our answer.
Because this is not actually, this is not a yes or no, because the answer is not, I don't think
right. Let's just answer the question.
Right. So go ahead, Gwen, and then I'll say my part.
Yeah, because you probably got more detail anyway. I get that some will be resigning and some will be arrested.
Okay.
Basic as that.
So, okay. So I got this, I don't know, I know there's a game where there's like the table and the little like person-like toys, and then these are the ones that are the congressmen that are being paid by Russia. But then the only ones they have to be tagged, like touched from below in order to resign. So in other words, I don't see the ones, like, they're not going to resign willingly. They're not going to be like, you know what, I got money from Russia, I'm going to resign. No, they pretend like nothing's happening. Only when they're tapped, meaning they have been indicted or something like that, have been exposed. And the other thing, it's interesting, yesterday we were like talking so much about questions. It's important, guys, that the word exposed, if it's just about what's in the news, means nothing, because so many of them have been exposed. The point is to be indicted, and that's what I see. When law enforcement touches them, that's when they do not before. So, okay.
They won't leave till they're arrested, because they don't want to give it up or indicted.
Indicted, right? But they were asking me, when you're indicted, you have to. Okay, so okay. So all right, so that's right. When they're indicted, whichever way. Okay. Right. Okay. So all right, so let's go to the next question. Okay, so now there's a question here from Lisa P73. You should ask about the Senate and House and if they are willing to cooperate with her, meaning Kamala. Then their question is also asked about Tim Walz and his VP position. Two interesting questions, but let's see. This is an interesting question about whether would, I don't think that I don't know that there's an option of cooperating. They may have to just go with the program. But let's see. This is the way that the person phrased it. Will the Senate when and if, I would think it's going to be announced anyway, but when it is announced, will the Senate and House cooperate with Kamala? Okay, you know what I mean? So, or should it be, what will the House and the Senate do in the case of this happening? But will we, no, let's go with right.
Yeah, because that's what I already. Because the way it comes to me is that the way it's going to be shown, because we're talking about the whole election thing, right? This is what we're asking on. Okay, so when it's going to be shown, it's so egregious and so criminal that they have to go along with the law and what she does. If they don't, they're going to be obvious assets of Russia. Okay,
but then okay, so let me ask, because I still, I guess I haven't even asked the question let me ask for me here, because already I'm like, really, isn't that, because I almost have a hard time believing that they're not gonna do anything. Okay, let me just ask. So will Senate and the House cooperate with Kamala once this is announced? What about people like Matt Gaetz? Let me ask. So will the Senate and the House, will they present any obstacles? Because they could try, how they try. Okay, so could they try to, okay. All right, so what I see an image that is like this announcement, and then Matt gets like frozen in cold fear.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
They're sweating, and Rand Paul sweating cold, the senator, right? Rand Paul sweating cold, and then Matt Gaetz is like kind of like, what is it? The Simpsons, like when they go back in the bushes, like, oh. So he's like, and then and I see this feeling of Matt Gaetz that he's like, oh damn it, I've been caught. Oh, but he's not in Congress anymore. Why am I even asking about him?
Right. But it's like the energy of MGT.
Weird.
It's all those.
Well,
It's
okay,
all
that's
those.
all right. Right, he's not in Congress anymore. So, but let's ask about Marjorie Taylor Greene.
Yeah.
That's okay.
She's the image I picked up.
Okay. So what about Senate House? Would the Senate House cooperate? What about Marjorie Taylor Greene? What will she do once this comes out? I said
Like, sit down, girl. Take a seat.
frozen. And then
Yes.
she goes like this. She was like, so, and okay, let me ask the next question that comes. Marjorie Taylor Greene is always so disruptive and is troll on purpose. Why would she act any different this time? Because it's war, and war means treason.
Yeah,
The
exactly.
treason.
Unless she wants handcuffs on her.
Okay, which will happen, but doesn't have to
Yeah,
be that moment.
exactly.
Okay.
It's
Wow.
how fast she wants them on her.
Okay. And then I see it's interesting. I see that she is having flashbacks at how foolish I acted because I showed them many times that I liked Russia and I didn't have to talk about Russia all the time. Like so like right. So she's like, but I didn't have to be so obvious. Did I have to be so obvious all along? And now it's too late, right? She knows. Okay, so that's interesting, right?
Yeah,
All right. Okay,
she's
so
longing for her
okay.
old life that she'll never get back.
Okay, all right. So, okay. By the way, Karina, now let's talk about I still like this question about Tim Walz. So now Tim Walz, is he back as a governor? What is his story? Is he back as a governor now? What's the story like currently at this moment? I
I
think
guess he would still be completing his duties.
sorry. Okay, okay. So let's see. But let's ask what, for example, February 1st, where will Tim Walz be? February 1st, 2025. Okay?
Hmm.
Okay, so tell me about Tim Walz, who ran with Kamala. Where is he going to be? Oh, and also tell me about his daughter Hope. Oh, his wife Gwen. Let's ask, where will Gwen and Tim Walz be on February 1st, 2025? Okay.
Interesting.
So go ahead, say it, Karina.
I'm seeing them tour their new home, which is part of the White House, the VP home.
Interesting. Okay.
They're like remodeling and decorating, and like I'm seeing all that. Like
Uh,
him and his son are walking through, and her and the daughter. It's like that's what I'm picking up on, is that the where they're living.
so, and I got interesting. I saw, the monument. I'm sorry, I don't know the name of the monument in Washington. It's like when, how, okay, the Martin Luther King made a speech, right? They have a dream.
Hmm.
And behind him, there is something behind him, like you see what is the name of that monument? That's where he is
The
at
Washington, the National
Washington, right?
Washington National Monument.
That's right. That's
Yeah,
what I got. Was that right? Okay.
yeah, I've been there. It's awesome.
I saw that they're like they're kind of like on almost on a date, or they're like observing. I can't believe they're so happy. They're like holding hands. When you're the woman, I'm so happy that we're still. Can you imagine? God is, God is. I think
Hmm. Hmm.
God is good, and everything worked out. Wow, and they were so happy. And then they're like, whoops. So there's people around us, because they're not like now. Everywhere they go, there's right, guards, right, whatever, Secret Service,
Secret Service.
and people taking selfies or something. Not selfies, like, oh my God, oh my God. But I think there's some event that they're going, right? But it's like just
Hmm.
them talking. So that's what I got. That's what I got. So what did you say? And I see the face, George Washington. Is there a statue with George Washington there? Do you know?
It's the no,
I,
it's
is there, because I see that at least the image, I see in paintings or even like a statue, like, oh,
yeah.
hi. So yeah, they're happy. They're good. Thumbs up. So that's
Hmm.
okay. So, let's ask in contrast, where will because everybody's like, where's JD Vance? Where's JD Vance? It's like, so where will be JD Vance then? What will he be? February 1st. Where's JD Vance? You're like, okay, interesting. Can I shed?
Yes, go go for it.
So I got that he's like, Peter, I'm so sorry.
Yep.
Is there any way I could make it up to you, Peter? I have always been a good follower of yours. I trust everything you say. I want to be a good soldier. You're my general, Peter. He really is crying. I see. And he's like, I wanted to say that also. I'm leaving. Usha. I never liked her. It was really hard for me to have intercourse. Oh, okay. So so that's it. But I see the Peter Thiel's like kind of like thinking to him. He's like, oh, thanks. But in his mind, he's like, yeah, it's too late now, ho. I don't
Yeah.
have to do anymore. Kind of discarded. Has been. I mean, maybe they are on friendly terms, but it's been discarded is what I pick up. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. I did the same thing. He was with Peter Thiel. Peter
Mhm.
Thiel had his back to him, and he was like begging for,
Mhm.
to make it up, basically mercy or whatever he could get out of Peter Thiel at this point, because
Mhm.
he blew it.
Mhm. Okay.
So he's useless to Thiel at this point
Yes.
too.
Very interesting. Very
Yeah.
interesting. All
Yeah.
right. So let's go to the next question. Okay, so another question here. Can you also please read on the reaction to this news? Will schools send students home for the day? Will businesses close? And then if this person has more questions about the markets, this is not it's not the scope. Like let's wait for the wait for this to happen. But I think it's an interesting question
Mm-hmm.
about schools sending. Okay, so what's going to happen? Let's say what will be the reaction to the news in the US? First question. Okay, so what will be the reaction to the news? Total. I see people shocked. Everybody totally shocked, completely shocked.
Yeah. But
Okay.
I get schools are already closed on holiday, some of them. Like, so I'm not sure. Like, that's one thing I did pick up with schools.
All right, so if it does happen, let's say on the 17th or 16th or something next week, are they going to be closed? Let's see. Let me ask. Okay, so what are they going to be? No, I don't. No, I don't feel like because it's interesting. I get the timing. It will be like they will already be in school, but it will be like something like mid like lunchtime or something like later on in the day. And then, okay, and then let's say, are they going to? I see some of the parents they may choose. See, this depends on the school district. It's not gonna, they're not, I don't know, I don't see much.
No, I don't either because I keep getting a lot of them are going to be already on holiday because, you know, most of them get out like a week or two before Christmas and they stay out till January 1st.
Mm-mm. Okay, okay.
So I'm just kind of picking up that kind of thing
Mm-mm.
that I'm not sure how many will be, but I did get when you first said it's shock, like, wow.
So I have, okay, the only example that I can think of for something like this, because I was in, okay, I know it sounds because it's totally different, but I was here in New York 9/11, of course. So
Mhm.
it was so it was chaotic and all that. So how does this event compare to something like, even though it's very positive, like, but it's just a national thing that
Right,
everybody like, okay, so what happens? How does that compare to 9/11? I mean, obviously 9/11 was horrible. This is not, but does it make sense? Something that unites, that is a huge historical event.
right.
So it's something people are shocked. Okay, and then I see it's like it go interesting. It shows me the rain Wow, interesting. It shows me as an image of, I remember, okay, you probably don't know this if you're not here, but immediately after 9/11, there was so much smoke. It took days
Hmm.
here. So it shows me like the paused smoke, but backwards, like coming from the darkness to the light.
Hmm.
So this makes sense. Now is
Hmm.
like would be the chaos that would happen if that thing were to become president. And then people are like, oh, whoa, oh my God, it's beautiful. Wow, slow motion.
Right. Hmm.
Like, oh my God, we were attacked. But it seems like it was, because that was a terror attack.
Yes.
Wow,
Yeah.
wow.
They're coming out of the fog and seeing it. Yes.
It was a terror
It's
attack.
the same. It's just without, thank goodness, without the
It's saying
tragedy, all
they
that.
foiled because that's what, like, okay, by the way, I have to
It
find it.
is a terrorist attack when you are, deciding somebody's elections for them.
Wow. Wow. Okay. Sorry. Okay. Wow. Sorry, I have to plug because my batteries are going really low. So, but keep talking, Karina. Keep
Yeah.
talking.
No, it is. It's a terrorist attack.
Wow.
That's
Wow.
that's crazy. Yeah. And that cloud is being pulled back so everybody can see.
Amazing. Okay. So,
Yeah. Which we've kind of seen different scenes of that all along. Like, I've seen the sheet, the veil, you've
mhm.
seen the veil, the illusion, kind of the same thing.
Oh, that's amazing. So, wow. So that's right. Slow motion. We did it didn't have. Oh, wow. So okay. It's saying it was like 9/11 but averted, but
Hmm.
kind of like wow. Okay. So, wow. Okay. Wow. I'm still like.
Well, yeah, you know what? I just heard the crash happened without the people in the plane, basically. So we did have an attack. It just wasn't massive people being killed at once because we were attacked. It was a terrorist attack. It just was in a different form.
Mm, wow. Okay. Okay. So, wow. Okay, I can't quite find it. I wanted to have because there's a lot of questions here. I talked to him about it. Like people are obsessed about the thing. Is it gonna be like civil war? Is it gonna be? I don't honestly, Quinn, I don't understand why people are so like, oh
Mm-mm.
my God,
I
because
can't.
so it's just like, wow. All right. So,
Well, and I think that one is always a challenge to address. But people have to realize we still have the presidency, we still have the military. They're What are they going to fight? Who are they going to fight? We've got tanks and all that kind of stuff.
okay, but let's just because this is the thing. No matter how many times we say that there's like in the beer gut belly, whatever, right? Like, oh my
Yeah.
God, we're gonna do something like that. So is there? It's like, is there gonna be? And someone is there gonna be Marshall? Like, what is? That's their questions. Okay, it's not our question, but it's like people are kind of obsessed about it. So how will is there gonna be a like? Let's just ask the way they're framing. Is there gonna be a civil war? Okay,
Okay.
is there going to be a civil war?
No.
No. And I see those people, the Trump, they're so lazy. They can barely get up. Like the liberals again. Like
Yeah.
I just don't see that they don't even bother.
Mm-mm.
And I see, guys, you have to, I know I've said, and now I have added an introduction to say that people, you're responsible for doing your own research, checking your gut levels. But this is like, this is like it's like you're still in the mindset of believing the propaganda that Trump is pushing.
Mm-hmm.
This is the thing.
Exactly. You're
You have
scared
to
of
snap
fear.
out of it. You know what I mean? Like it's saying that. It's like, where do you get this info? I get it. They'd be like, oh, these people are so crazy. But this was it's like the whole win is fake. And this whole like it's a media campaign, it's information warfare. I just don't feel it. That's just my thing.
Mm-mm.
I
Mm-mm.
understand. So, of course, there's a lot of manipulation, media information manipulation, but I'm not picking it up at all.
No.
And
No.
the fact is, you have to remember this. We were already attacked.
Exactly.
All of this is happening, the divisive media and so forth, that they're like
Right.
ignoring the fact that there was something very shady that happened, no matter how you slice it.
Right.
So So it's just, it's
And
really,
look how many times Trump has gone to court or whatever he's done since then has said,
Mhm,
if
mhm,
you indict me, there's going to be civil war in the street. These
that's
guys
right.
are going
That's
to be
right.
in the street. Have they been? No,
Okay.
no, not one person has showed up.
Mhm,
Well, maybe one person or 10, but
mhm.
no, it hasn't happened.
And I got this kind of like image of people because I'm thinking of specific some like tech bro people. They're like, yeah, they're like, well, damn, they believe us, huh? They're all scared. So it's like, but if they have to do something, they don't not gonna do it. They just create information, create bots and fake information, all that to scare people. But I don't see them doing anything really. Because
No,
it's all done by machines and all that, right? I think so.
right,
It's just
right.
yeah. Okay, so okay,
Yeah,
that's what I got. All
yeah.
right. So that's let's see. So let's see if there's one more question for today, and then we'll not make it too okay, so the next question is Rosie from Americana Blue. Rosie, could you and Karina ask about the House and the Senate? Will the true results of the vote change the majority so Dems are in charge? So, okay, so will the true results of the vote change the majority so Dems are in charge? Let's see.
I get the same information I've always gotten before,
Which is
which is when all this comes out, there's going to be correction in all areas, House, Senate, because there's certain people that are involved. So by the time everything is said and done, once again, I always hear the rightful people will take their places. And I do believe we will have the majority.
okay. All right.
But we have to be patient because that is a house of cards that's going to change things.
Okay. All right. So, okay. So what I saw, it's interesting. What I saw is like this. I guess when you have the old like lottery ticket system where you scratch put the thing in and it reveals the winner, it's saying that it will reveal the numbers.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. But that it's very some races have been doesn't make sense they have recount. Essentially, there's going to be some surprises and others that are going to be remain the same.
Right,
So it's saying that, but it shows that they have essentially the number because as we talked about the numbers were changed once it was gathered together. So
right.
they still have, that's what I'm understanding, somehow they have the original vote that was
They have
cast.
correct information.
So
Yes.
so that's like, and then I see like, even the news, even though it's like, I don't trust it necessarily, but it's saying, oh, here's the new map. The new old map was the map that actually what the situation looks like and how the Congress looks very different. And some people are not gonna come. They're gonna have to cancel their flights, huh? So
Yeah.
so I have
Mm-hmm.
okay, and then suddenly I have a question
Okay.
came up just related to this. So let's say for example, there's gonna be people that they thought they had won, but they didn't, or at least it was based on false information. How are these people going to react? Are they going to demand some sort of recount or whatever? Are they gonna what are they gonna do? Are they gonna they're
I
like
just I see a bunch of tails going between legs. So no,
no,
I think that
no,
they're
and I
going.
see they kind of knew they kind of at least had a feeling they didn't really win truly.
Yeah.
And that is saying that if you raise your voice, it's like saying guilty
Mhm.
because at our front work to help
Yeah.
you. So you don't want to you kind of go back, kind of exactly. Oh, yes, there was.
Yeah.
Who are you going to be? Well, it changed. I guess they found, there was a recount or whatever. I don't think the word is a recount. I don't necessarily. It's just that
No.
they fixed the tabulation issue essentially.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. Right. They know the right numbers. There is no recounts needed.
All
Is
right.
what I hear. And they're going to quietly walk out the door is what they're going to do with their tails between their legs. They're not going to protest it.
That's right. That's right. Wow, interesting. Okay. Very cool. So okay, so that's it for today, right, Karina? I think
Yeah, that's good.
that's it. That's okay. And we'll come back. We'll come back and like
Not
I might not do a thing tomorrow, but if not, then the next day. Come back either tomorrow, or the day after, okay?
okay.
Right. Okay, thanks for watching. Okay.
Bye.
Bye. Bye. Bye.